Milky Way panorama. God, I look old. The Milky Way panorama. Before I knew what an Alabama hill, cholla cactus, or bristlecone pine was, this is a niche video. I saw my first Milky Way panorama, and I knew I had to capture it. I spent the next 6 years learning about blue hour, long exposures, astro-modified sensors, and photo stacking. So I went out in the dark to shoot my very own Milky Way panorama, and I failed. I bought a new lens, and I failed. A new camera bag, a cube light, shutter release, magnesium tripod, the entire Sony Alpha line of cameras, G Master lenses, a new car. I want everything anyone on YouTube told me to buy, and I still failed. And truth be told, it really isn't even that hard. Like, it really isn't. But I can't seem to wrap my brain around it. In fact, I've completely scrapped my last 2 vlogs because my panel didn't stitch together correctly. If you came here to learn, like the video and move on. But if you came here to witness my latest attempt at a Milky Way panorama, stick around. Here we are, Anza-Borrego State Park, and we are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to get our full panorama, tracked panorama of the Milky Way. It's May 20th. This is it for the whole tracked opportunity here, for the whole panorama of the season. I cannot wait another year to get this shot. I just got the tracker, been messing around with it for about a month and a half. I think I'm ready. I think we're gonna go 24mm tracked panorama. Really excited. We were in Death Valley a month ago at the new moon, and it was cloudy skies. We weren't able to get a real good tracking shots of the Milky Way, and plus it was my first time. So got a bunch of cool shots, but we didn't get that beautiful panorama. So that's what we're after tonight. We're going to Fonts Point. It's supposed to be this beautiful Grand Canyon-esque viewpoint here in Anza-Borrego State Park. Never been here before, and I've read so many things online about how you can't get there unless you have 4-wheel drive. Then I read one person say they took a Hyundai Accent out there, so have no idea what to expect. But I got my shovel just in case. So we're ready for anything. I don't think it's gonna be bad. We have the Outback Wilderness. It's never let us down before. I shouldn't say that out loud, we're gonna jinx it. But here we are, late May, Milky Way track panorama. Here we go. So the road is not that bad. This is like the craziest part right here. Nothing the wilderness can't handle. We made it here, and it is it's pretty awesome actually. And it was very, very easy to get here, so I'm totally good to come back at night. It looks like an amazing viewpoint, perfect opportunity for Milky Way pano. We're probably gonna want to get a little bit of the foreground in the shot to give it some depth, but mostly just the vast Badlands with the Milky Way just rising over the horizon. Should be starting to rise up at about 10 p.m. So I'll probably be here to get a blue hour composite. It's all lined up for us. Now we just have to execute. As I made my way back to the spot, with the beautiful desert sun over my shoulder, I couldn't help but to think about all the other times in my life where I failed to execute. Like every standardized test I had ever taken. Like finding a prom date, or losing my virginity. All the times where everything was lined up for me, but the moment was too big. Maybe tonight would be different. So here we are, blue hour. We're going all the way from north to south, and we're capturing the entire thing. It's getting dark, so we're at 15-second exposures. We have the ISO as low as we can at 50, and we have our shutter speed, or our f16. So we're overlapping quite a bit. which means you got to take way more shots, but it makes it way easier to stitch, especially if you're using Lightroom, which I do try to use because it's so easy. But I also have another program, I forgot what it's called. I'll put it in the video now, but it works better if Lightroom does fail. We're back at the spot, and it could not be a more beautiful night. It is calm. It's like 85 degrees at least, which is crazy, and that with no sun, that actually feels amazing. So it's calm, 85 degrees, and yeah, there's a lot of light pollution, as you can see. So we're gonna make the best of it. You see, and Terrace is up, and the course should be following soon. So we're going to get our tracker going with the 24 millimeter. It's gonna take probably 20-30 minutes to set up, and then by that time the course should be up, and we will start shooting our panorama. So we're using the Move Shoot Move Star Tracker. Seems like it's really, really nice and convenient. It took me 11 minutes to set this up, which is not bad at all. So we have our tripod, okay, then we have the Move Shoot Move head that came with it. If you order it, you can order it with this head. Then we have the mount itself. Okay, then this is the Alan Wallace Z plate, Z bracket, I'm not sure what it's called, but that is very, very handy, because what you'll see in a minute is we're gonna polar align this thing. You have to shoot this laser here towards Polaris. So you have to have this whole mount facing the north. And when you tilt it back and it's facing the north, then this becomes really hard. You want to be able to have full control over your camera, not coming from a weird angle. So this plate allows you to level this thing out and then have a full tripod head, ball head up here. Now you have to buy this separately, but it's totally worth it. It's only like $40, completely worth it. So that's our setup. And now we're gonna polar align this thing. Okay, that's pretty much it. There I was, at the finish line. Clear skies, amazing view, tracker set up, and then disaster. This light pollution is not gonna work. I'm gonna have to go to a different part of the park and hope that I don't have such a clear view of all this light, because it's killing the shot. We're at F4. It's just you can see the Milky Way, but it's a big ball of light. We can't even expose this thing. So we're gonna relocate, and hopefully we can do it in time to get something. It really sucks. Now, this shouldn't have been that big of a shocker, since the same exact thing happened to me in Death Valley last summer. Last time I dragged my family miles off road in the triple-digit heat to scout out an amazing viewpoint, only to return at night to have the entire scene blown out by the light pollution from Las Vegas. I came away empty-handed that night, but I wasn't gonna go down that easy this time. So it is 3:30 a.m. and just spent the last 2.5 hours shooting at least, I think it was 90 shots at 24 millimeter, f2.2, ISO 800. I definitely captured the whole Milky Way. There was some cloud cover towards the end, which might mess it up. There was also a lot of movement in the Milky Way because it took so long for me to do at 24 millimeter. So we'll see. There's a lot of variables here. It's super late, and overall, I think it's going to stitch together. I'm going to be optimistic. I think it's going to stitch together, and I think we're going to have a heck of a shot. Before I show you my final result, here are some of my favorite composites from my attempt at a panorama in Death Valley last month. I have to say, I really like how this came out. Now, I ended up shooting the stars about 4 miles inland from where I shot the foreground. This would definitely disqualify me from any formal competition, but I feel like I had no choice, and I suspect that a lot of what we see on social media are images that are much less authentic than this one. At the end of the day, I feel like this was the only way to get this image on this night, and I'm pretty satisfied with the result. Here are the 50 images that I stitched together for the stars. Now, if you'd like a more in-depth tutorial from someone who's been mildly successful at this one time, let me know in the comments. So there you have it, my Milky Way panorama. I can finally check it off my list. Well, maybe. I don't like the color. I don't like the color. Didn't even stitch together correctly. It's too blue. The arch isn't even, it's not even round. I can't hang this. This is embarrassing.